Hello and welcome to the Fat Jack Sports Hour. Thank you so much for joining us. Host the Fat Jack. The weekend is here. Basketball is here. We sprung into March. We're springing forward this weekend. What a great weekend to be alive. It's my wife's birthday on Monday. Fire up. Time to make some more money. Time to get dialed in for the spring and head into baseball season, which is coming. Let's not waste any more time. Let me bring in my co-host from Louisville, Kentucky, Mr. Brandon Rush. Brandon, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. You know, March is a sneaky good time of year to be a sports fan. Obviously, we all know March Madness, but then, yeah, we're 2 weeks away from pitchers or really from regular season at Major League Baseball starting. The Masters is the weekend after the Final Four, and then the Kentucky Derby immediately after that. So, I mean, we over the next 8 weeks, we're going to be knee deep in it. It's not October, but it's pretty good.
NFL draft coming up. We've got Soccer Weekly now, which is so nice. I mean, we're turning a nice profit in soccer this year, and UFC going about every week. So there's lots of reasons to go to fatjacksports.com and get signed up. Namely, you save a ton of money versus waiting until later in the year. Baseball season for free. I pushed that back. I had a bunch of people that reached out after the deadline and said, "Hey, Jack, I'm doing this. We got spring break. We're President's Week and all these things." And so I decided to push that forward. So if you go right now and sign up for the football season, you're going to get the baseball season for free still. That won't last forever, but it is until further notice. So good time to get signed up for that. Also, you can pay out the service fee. But to your point, even if you're waiting on football and you really don't care much about that, there's going to be a lot of opportunities to make money between now and then, not just with the things you mentioned, but obviously the World Cup is coming this summer. And we do have, the tournaments are here. This coming week, we've got conference tournaments. And March is always, I say this very rarely, Brandon, because profit comes throughout the year when you're betting on sports with me. In the year, we're going to make money for sure. We're going to make about 50 games in football. We're going to make about 50 games in basketball. 2 years ago, we made 100 games in soccer. So you're going to make a lot of money over the course of the year. But being able to say, this is the time, this is the week, this is the month, I wish it was that easy.
Sure.
Because I would go to Hawaii or go to the moon or go somewhere for those losing months. I would tell everybody, hang on. We're not going to do anything this month, but it's coming. And when it does, I'm going to charge you 10 times more because I know for a fact this is the month we're going to win it. I wish it was that easy. But it's obviously not. What I do know is more quality plays over the course of 365 days than not quality plays by the percentage that I give them out. You're going to make money. It's happened 31 of the last 32 years. And actually, every year we've made money. We've just had 1 year of one sport. So we had a football year, a couple football years we didn't make money, but we won in basketball those years. Had a couple basketball years we didn't, but we won in football. Doesn't even count the soccer profit, which has overcome all of that since we've been adding that in. So we're going to make money. But the point of this is when you get to March is one of those months. That needs to be the Puerto Rican casino or government or something that's calling me because I've got some.
Still,
dude, it's ongoing. Caesar, I'm mad at all of them. We can talk about it in a minute. But when it comes to March, that is one of those months that over the last 30 years, 29 of 30 years in March, we have made money. And not just made money, made more than at least 15 games of profit. And so it is not just a month. It's the month in the spring for sure. This in May. May is another really good one, sneaky good one. You talked about being, sneaky good time to watch sports. May is one of those months, Brandon, that even though there's less going on, you wrap up college basketball. You've got the bases for free. I really don't count those because I don't have a charge for them right now. But when you add everything, the NBA playoffs in May always make money.
Plus, you get the start of the Triple Crown horse racing. I mean, you add all that in. It's a good month, but it's not March.
Definitely not March and definitely not October, to your point. I mean, you want to be on in the fall for sure. That's when the vast majority, a lot of the money comes. The problem with waiting until October to sign up is you're going to pay over double what you're going to pay for those exact same picks if you wait till October 1st and say, hey, sign me up for October. That's great, but it's going to cost you double what it costs you now, and you're going to miss all the profit, including March's profit between now and then. So go to fatjacksports.com, get signed up today, and win this season. I don't even know where to begin. We're wrapping up college football or basketball. We could talk about that. We can talk about the draft coming up. We can talk about the conference tournaments, and we'll get to all of that. Or I could spend an hour just on the people I'm mad at right now in other countries.
I mean, so currently, if you missed the previous episodes or the previous shows on radio stations across the country, there are 3 entities that I know of currently that you're beefing with. One is Caesar Sportsbook. A second is Southwest Airlines. And the third is the Puerto Rican Gaming Commission.
Puerto Rican Gaming Commission slash DraftKings.
Okay.
And I wish that was those were the only ones.
I knowing you, I knew it was that was just a glimpse into what you have beef with. But those are the 3 main ones and the 3 that we've talked about on the show.
So let me give an update. The Southwest Airlines one, we're going to move them to the side. They're going to get a pass. They gave me a couple $100 twice, gave me a couple $100 worth of free vouchers, and more importantly, they are tweaking / fixing their problems.
Yes, I saw an email. I saw an email from Southwest that said, "Hey, we're a month into our new seating deal. Here's some changes we've made." So it's at least they're admitting, hey, maybe we didn't roll this out maybe as good as we could have, and they're adjusting it on the fly. So I'm with you on that. They're at least trying to fix the issue.
I didn't read the email, but I did any emails from them. But I did figure out, or somebody told me or whatever, that 48 hours, and I shouldn't even be saying this because this will hurt me in where I am, but if you're a A-list preferred or A-list status, 48 hours prior to your flight, exactly 48, so kind of 24 you could go and check in before. 48 hours before, if you're A-list preferred or A-list, you can go on the website and you then get your choice of any of the paid seats for free. So if there are paid seats, and I've now flown them, I fly Southwest all the time. They literally should pay me to fly. But flew them, since Las Vegas, I've flown them 4 times. 4 different flights. That's 8 legs. So 8 legs. 7 of those 8 legs, I was able to go on 48 hours before, upgrade to a paid seat. And along with that, it upgraded my boarding position. I was mad about boarding with Group 5. I've been boarding with Group 1 because I've been getting the seats in the front row or in the exit row, whatever. So we're going to move them to the side. They're okay for now. TBD, if they do anything else stupid, we'll talk about it. Caesars Gaming Commission is like a girlfriend who decided they were going to date somebody hotter. They have basically ghosted me. I can't get anybody, including and I hope they listen to this. If you're Caesars Palace or you're in the sports book, shame on you for not, at the very minimum, enlightening me so that I can tell the viewers, the listeners out there, why it is that you've taken away my Diamond status, Diamond Plus status, actually. I still don't know why. Nobody will tell me. Nobody will give me an email to get a hold of anybody. The rep I have at Caesars Palace, Las Vegas, doesn't know why. He's in the sports book and doesn't know why. They just have revoked my Diamond Plus status because my assumption is I beat them out of so much money, and I don't play the reindeer games. I don't play the slots and do the other things they want. So they have singled me out. I know they singled me out. I had more than enough points that I had earned to be Diamond Plus. I got nothing from them. The Gaming Commission, they couldn't even give me the right email address. So I have filed a formal complaint with, this is the 20% that they stole from me. I won $10,000 in Puerto Rico at the casino. Go up, they give me $8,000. It's not even 10. It was like $8,900, or excuse me, $9,800, and they gave me and there were different tickets. It wasn't one ticket. So don't email me and say, the rule is if you're over 10,000. That's not what happened. I had multiple tickets for 2,500, 15, whatever. Added up to under 10,000. Still, they took $2,000 away. I have since found out that, from what I can tell, nobody else in the country besides DraftKings is charging that. Nobody's doing that, and the law does not say they're supposed to be doing it. So we got off the cruise ship. I made a stop. I made the cab driver, I said, listen, pull up. Karen loves all this, by the way. I mean, we're literally now not going straight to the airport like a normal person.
Like normal people who get off a cruise ship would probably be doing, right?
Go to the airport, get checked in, go to the lounge, get ready to fly. No, not us. We're taking the heat back to DraftKings over at the Fairmont Hotel in Puerto Rico in San Juan. I said, no, driver, please take us over here. Guy spoke, no, take us over here. I need you to wait. I'm going to leave her in the car. So don't drive off without her. I'll come back out and then take us to the airport. How long will you be, sir? Long as it takes. 15 minutes, might be an hour, might be a day. I don't know.
We'll find out together.
We are going to find it together. And Karen's in the car like, what have I married in? What have I done? I'm not getting out of the car. Because nobody, it was hot. She didn't want to unload the luggage. I didn't want to have to unload the luggage. Just sit in the air. I'll be right back. So 20 minutes later, they give me an email. Nobody knows anything now. They've got my money, but nobody's admitting to anything. I have copies of the tickets.
The tickets, yeah.
With the money so I filed a formal complaint with the Puerto Rican Gaming Commission, Fairmont Hotel, and DraftKings. I'm getting my money back. It's only $2,000.
Some way, some form, you're getting it back.
I'm not letting it go. The third one is Marriott Bonvoy that double charged me for a hotel room at $790 a night. I get double charges on my. They admit there's double charges. We're so sorry. They're going to give me 50,000 points and obviously my money back.
Right.
It's been 10 days. I haven't gotten anything. I'm being bait and switched by the entire freaking country. I'm so mad at Puerto Rico. And for the people were so fun. They had cats everywhere. Loved everything about it. Now I'm being bamboozled on my way out the door. I'm telling you, it's been a rough run. But I'm not letting it go. But you know why? Because football's over and I'm pissed.
It's long been established that you are a person who has A, money, and B, free time. And that is a problem for some people that cross you.
For people who steal from me, yeah. Or do the wrong, yeah. I've got, you know what? I've got nothing but time. It used to be I would fly to West Palm Beach, Florida, to a guy who had basically insulted me and my family via email because I had a losing weekend. I'd figure out what he did. He owned a smoothie shop, owned 3 smoothie shops, went into the smoothie shop, bought 3 smoothies, and then dumped them on the floor and left. That's what it used to be.
It's not that long ago, if we're being honest.
No, I've grown since then, or maybe gone on some medication. I don't know. That and the time that I said JohnnyFisApedophile.com is what you need to go to if you want to sign up for the service this week. Because some guy had threatened me, and I found out that he had some trouble in that realm.
Oh, boy.
Now I'm not doing any of that. I just want him to pay me the money they owe me. So FatJackSports.com. Listen, if you want to win this year, get signed up. We're having a good year. March is off to a great start. We always win in March, and these plays are basically free. They're going to build profit for you through the entire, not just March, April, May, June, all the way up until about August. The threshold kind of turns where the prices go up enough to where you want to have signed up now, but if you're not going to sign up now, you're gonna miss free plays for about 4 months, and that is a ridiculous idea. You need to get signed up, even if you're not going to play every day. Go ahead and do that because long term, we're going to create a lot of profit over the summer. And if you wait until August to sign up, you're going to pay more, and you're going to miss all those opportunities. So, Brent, anything happened here to wrap up the college regular season that jumped out at you? We got these last weekend, and the conference tournament's coming up this next week. And then, of course, March Madness, Selection Sunday, all that kind of stuff afterwards. What jumps out at you in college basketball over the last month or so? Who's the best team in the country? Duke had moved to number 1, become the favorite. Michigan's still up there at the top. You've got, kind of the usual cast of characters from the different conferences. So what are your thoughts as we head into conference tournament play as far as who's the favorite? Who should be the favorite? Where are we?
I had to laugh just thinking about last week's show when I touted St. John's as being like a team to be on the lookout. Then they lost by 40, and then they turn around the following game and come back and post a convincing win. But yeah, you're right. It's Duke, it's Arizona, Michigan, UConn, Florida. All those teams, in my estimation, are pretty much interchangeable. And it is wild to see over the last few years, at least in college football, how we've had sort of some off the periphery teams kind of come in and be disruptors. We had SMU, we had obviously Indiana this year, Ole Miss, who traditionally has not been to that level, come in and be a factor late. Here we are in college basketball, and it's blue bloods, and it's wild to think that the NIL has impacted college football so much, yet we haven't seen that as a whole transfer to basketball yet, at least at the very, very top. Texas Tech is probably the lone exception to that. But all in all, it's blue bloods. And right now, if you made me pick somebody, I have a futures ticket on Arizona from back in October that is at least looking good, but we all know that teams west of Kansas traditionally haven't done well in the tournament. But yeah, Duke, Arizona, Michigan, UConn, Florida, for me, they're all pretty much interchangeable. And I could see any of those 5 taking it.
It was where I was going to obviously go. It was the geography of national champions over the last not just 2 to 5, 10 years, over 20 plus years. Nobody west of Kansas has won the national championships. I've talked about this before, but it's hard for me to play for a streak to end like that.
Sure.
Because I do think there's something to that. You're getting a team in Arizona that, and I'm just picking on Arizona because they are the obvious choice if you're going to pick one from the West Coast. But they recruit a different type of athlete from that part of the country, and they don't. And so when it gets to go time, and they're basically their schedule, now it's better because they're not in the Pac-12. This made more sense when we were talking about Pac-12 teams and they were beating up on each other. There was obviously going to be a best of that group. But when it got into the tournament, a little bit like Gonzaga, that when it got into the tournament, they were more times than not going to fail because the other teams, Duke's they're playing North Carolina and they're playing in that conference and they're doing all the things. They're battle tested. Michigan and Michigan State, all those teams, they out of conference play tough teams and in conference have enough of those games that you kind of know what you're getting. And when they would face a West Coast team, they would lose. It's a little bit better now because you have Arizona playing in the Big 12. But most people tell you that as good as Houston is, Houston's down over what they've been the last couple of years.
Sure, they are not as good defensively as we've seen from Kelvin Sampson coach teams, both at Oklahoma, Indiana, and at Houston.
Kansas, obviously down.
Yep.
They're still good, but have had parts of the season where they looked like they weren't even a top 25 team. So
like they couldn't care that they had a basketball game to play that day. Yeah.
Exactly. So they got a star that's kind of a head case. The kid, he's a diva. So he's going to play. He's not going to play. He's got the flu. He didn't have flu. I mean, there's definitely things going on in that program that we normally don't see out of Bill Self's team. So you could make an argument that, yeah, Arizona's in a tougher conference than the Pac-12 has been over the years. But, I mean, there are other kind of battle-tested games. OSU's down. Kansas State's down a little bit. I mean, all these teams. Iowa State, pretty good, but got rolled at home.
Yep.
Just last week to Texas Tech. So is Texas Tech all of a sudden better? Because we talked about Tech. You know, they had been on the rise. They're not in the top, 15 or 20.
They're 10, but they're without their star. So how far are they going to be able to go?
If you look at their odds to win the national championship, there are a good 15 to 20 teams in front of them. So they're 80-1 and way down the list right now. So I guess my point is that it's tough for me to play a West Coast team, even Arizona at 5-1, to win it all because I have to bet on a trend to end that I'm not sure is going to end. These other teams, Michigan's the favorite here. What I'm looking at FanDuel, 3-1, Duke 3.5-1, Florida 7.5-1. Florida's the one for me. And I'm not going to tie up my money over the next month, a little over a month, on a 7.5-1 team. But this is a team they present some problems for some people. They are big inside. They're athletic at the guard. They don't have to shoot it great every time because they play good defense, especially on the perimeter. Their guards are long. So that's a team that I can see, in their fourth choice right now. It's not like I've gone deep into the well. But I could see Florida getting the right type of matchup once we get in the tournament and really not even being tested to the Sweet 16 or maybe beyond, depending on who they match up against. So other teams that are always in the conversation rarely get there. I think they are same old. For me, right now as we're heading into the conference tournaments, we'll see. But they're kind of the same old. Say Illinois, a team we always talk about, they never do it. Iowa State, I always talk about, never do it. Gonzaga's down as low as they've been in a while. They're 50-1,
and have one of the worst losses of any team in the consideration for the championship. I mean, they lost to a team, and the basketball analytics nerds talk about quad 1 wins. They have a quad 4 loss. They lost to a team that is, I mean, granted, it was they have a loss to Michigan, but they lost to Portland, who is 11-15, I think. That's going to be a red herring for a lot of people once they start looking at brackets and all that.
Those kids for Portland, you will be telling their grandkids about that win.
Yeah. The night they pulled off an upset against a top 5 program. Yeah,
we won 13 games, but by God, we beat
one of them was Gonzaga. Yeah,
exactly. What about Miami of Ohio? Let's talk about them real quick before we take a break and turn the page. Miami of Ohio undefeated, still a huge long shot to do anything in the tournament. You've always kind of been of the thought, from what I understand and what I learned about you, is that you can only play the teams in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
So in basketball, I know it's a little bit different, but this Miami O team, if let's say they lose one, let's say it's in the tournament, in
their conference tournament.
In their conference tournament. So they run the table over this week, and by the time this show runs, we'll know if they did. They probably will. And they lose one of their tournaments. This team, should they be in? Are they going to get in? What do you think about that?
It's hard for me to keep a team of that. I mean, you go 20 whatever and 0 in any level of sports, especially in a mid-major. It's hard to keep them out, at least for me. That said, yeah, they don't have a good win. It really comes down to maybe who they lose to, because the Mid-American is a one-bid league. Traditionally, it's rare that two teams from that league get in, and it's going to come down to them or maybe Akron, who's kind of been overlooked in a lot of aspects as well. But it would be hard for me if I was on the committee to not include them if they didn't get the auto bid. I'd be banging the table for that.
I absolutely agree. Basketball, unlike football, I don't believe it's. I understand you can only play who's in front of you, but sure. I don't care as much in football. Football, there is such a disparity in physical talent level at times that I can, even though I believe some of the teams that are in those lesser conference should get in. Mm-hmm. I'm okay leaving out a team that is in a good conference but has beaten up on, or at least undervaluing them, like a team in the Big Ten or Texas A&M was a good example.
I would rather take a second place team from a mid-major than a ninth place team from the Big Ten.
And that kind of gets me to my point. When you get to basketball, it flips for me because there isn't that much of a difference between, and we're not talking about Arizona and Kansas and these sure. top tier. We're talking about the teams that you're mentioning. Oklahoma mm-hmm. State, a team that's in the middle that may get in, they might not. I'm okay taking a team that had one bad shooting game. They ran their table and beat everybody on their schedule, in their conference, out of their conference, in basketball, and saying this team needs to get in over the 8th team or 9th or 10th or 11th team out of the SEC.
Yeah. Would you rather have Georgia, Texas A&M, which are kind of, two sides of the same coin, or a team that, like you said, ran the table and lost on a bad shooting day?
And
who deserves it more?
Yeah, and primarily because we kind of know, don't we, what the odds are going to happen with Texas A&M or mm-hmm. Georgia or those at LSU, whoever that team is. We kind of know how that's going to play out because we've seen them play a lot. They've had ample opportunity
to prove
who they are in their own conference. A team like Miami of Ohio, they obviously didn't know they were going to get lightning in a bottle when they made the schedule. So I really can't blame them as much for not having been tested, but I don't know how good they are. Nor does anybody else. If you go undefeated against everybody that's in front of you, except maybe one team, even if that team was not a great team, I think we know a lot more about what LSU is or isn't versus what Miami O is or isn't if they only lose one game. So I'm absolutely forgetting him in, especially because I think that's the ability of expanding the field. Having this many teams that get in, this is exactly who should be getting in.
Yeah, when it expanded from 64 to 68, these are the teams that deserve to be there, not a 10th place Ohio State.
Yeah, who's going to always be in the conversation based on who they're playing. All you got to do is be good.
Yep.
This type of team, you want them recruiting-wise. I've always leaned on that. I want teams to be able to recruit on an equal playing field against some of these big boy conferences. Well, this is the type of decision that helps with that. You're Miami of Ohio, you go into some kid's living room and say, yeah, I know you got passed over by Ohio State and by Michigan State, but come here, we're going to keep winning, and we're going to get a chance to beat them once we get in the tournament. I'm for that. I think that's better than giving these major four conferences another, tool in their tool chest to go into living rooms and get a kid to sway off a team like that. So
you're like, we've made the tournament 7 of the last 8 years. Yeah, as a 9 seed, you didn't win a damn game.
Yeah, you basically have to be able to not walk and chew gum to not make it in your conference.
Right.
I mean, beat the really bad teams you're going to get. So FatJackSports.com, get signed up today. They are, by the way, 5,000 to 1. What are they? 500 to 1, I think, to win it all. And again, we talk about, and we're not talking a lot right now. You're like, Jack, why aren't you talking about conference tournaments and their odds? Because we're taping the show early in the week. The conference tournament odds, for the most part, outside of the Atlantic Sun, the Big South, the Horizon, Missouri Valley, those type are out. But you get to the bigger conferences, they don't know the seeding. They don't know who's going to play who. So you online cannot bet on these conference winners until kind of like
the brackets are out.
Yeah, the brackets have to be out. We got to know who's going to play who, all that kind of stuff. Just like in the NCAA tournament, to be next Sunday, we'll be able to kind of figure out exactly who's playing who and what their odds should be. So in the meantime, we're going to talk about Miami O and whether there's any value at them at $5 million to 1. What are they exactly? It's 50,000 to 1. They're plus 50,000, so that's 5,000 to 1. I don't need them to win. I think they're going to get in. I didn't want to do this, the math on hedging back a 5,000 to 1 and just bet they're going to get in.
Yeah.
Either by our argument that we're having or they're going to win out. I'm going to put a flyer on them, figure out the math later.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure I have some free bets that are stacked up here that need to get used. Or you know what? Hey, I'll throw $25 at a 500 to 1 or 5,000 to 1.
5,000 to 1.
5,000. Yeah, I could do a lot with a 5,000 to 1 ticket.
Right. That's right. 50,000 plus 50,000 is 5,000 to 1. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So 50. So they have to win 64 to 32, 32 to 16.
There's 6 games to get to win a national championship.
6 games, 50,000 or 5,000 to 1. How can I not hedge that?
At 100x.
I think I'm onto something. Well, hold the phone here. All right, I'm getting ready to go back to Vegas. I may bet more than a little bit on this. I'm going to do the math on this. Next week, I'll have the math down. I'm going to bet this like in the next couple of days, right after my surgery. But at 5,000 to 1, they got to win 6 games. I should be able to bet 100 at least, $100 to 1 on the first game on the money line of the other team.
Yeah,
they're going to lose. I'm not going to have to. It'd get dicey at the end if they kept winning because I would be.
If all of a sudden Miami of Ohio makes a run to the Final Four, I'm
gonna need some bankroll. If I bet 1,000 to win, what's that going to be? That'd be 500,000.
Yeah, $500,000.
I might have $500,000 on one side, and I would have to round up 350 to money line whoever the other team and bet that. The problem would be getting that down.
I was gonna say finding someone. You'd have to spread that out at 50,000 a piece at 7 different books. Probably.
It'd be a job. I got Caesars taking away my diamond card because I can't. I'm not beating them out of near that.
The number of sports books available at your disposal now just went down. Yeah.
Golly, I'm gonna have to. I need to figure out who, because if I bet that through them, I could go back and say, listen, I'm hedging against this bet. I do know there's some of that. So TBD on that. We may have a little fundraiser going on with Miami, Ohio. FatJackSports.com. Get signed up today. Don't go anywhere. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about I have 10 other stories that I'm not going to get to, so we're probably going to talk about the NBA. I want to talk about that a little bit. We'll talk a little about soccer, the World Cup, and those type things. Baseball season, maybe we'll talk about who's going to win some games in baseball, even though I don't want to talk about that. We still might. You just never know. Stay with us. Go to FatJackSports.com. Get signed up during the break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Fat Jack Sports Hour.
Whether you're betting football, baseball, soccer, fights, hoops, or horses, we've got a package for you at FatJackSports.com. More of the Fat Jack Sports Hour when we return.
Before the ball is tipped or a shot is even taken, before the crowd explodes or history's made. If you're going to bet, have a game plan. Bet legally, set limits, and keep it fun. When gambling becomes a problem, visit responsibleplay.org to find help.
Hey guys, this is the Fat Jack. Are you finally ready to get a better plan betting the games this year? Let me help. Go to FatJackSports.com, where we understand that it's not the gambling she hates, it's the losing. FatJackSports.com.
This is Lindsay, and one of the sexiest things about the Fat Jack besides his belly is that he promotes responsible gambling. So if you're trying to win enough money to pay your rent or betting with money that should be used for other things like food, or simply think you or someone you know might have a gambling problem, don't call Jack silly. Call 800-522-4700 and get help today. Now, enjoy the show and have a great weekend.
Welcome back to the Fat Jack Sports Hour, and now here is our host springing into profit like Scrooge McDuck. He's the Fat Jack.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Fat Jack Sports Hour, segment number 2. It's been a while since I've had this many people on my list of being mad at or not liking, and they're not actual people; they're like entities.
Yeah. If it was a person, you could maybe, I can't say justify it, but it would be more on brand for you. You're more of a personal interaction, hold a grudge. I haven't seen you in the 20-something years that we've been working together have that many issues with entities.
I'm going to give you a quick one before we get to the NBA. FatJackSports.com, get signed up. I do have one that I've tried to grow above, but I'd love your input on what you think about this situation.
Okay.
So go get signed up right now. You save, it's about half as much. You get all the plays for free basically over the entire spring and summer. You get the baseball season for free, horse racing for free. Get signed up right now while I'm telling this story. And Brandon, tell me what you think about this. So there is a guy, and I'm calling him a guy because he's not a kid. All right, he is a grown man.
Okay.
Let's get that out of the way. Now, how old is he? I don't know. Does it matter how old he is? I think he's 20 or 21. So he's not a grown man compared to me, who's a grown man, but he is an adult. He could go to war. He could be over in Kuwait or whatever.
I mean, the way we're headed, we all could. But anyways,
exactly.
Carry on.
All right, so this guy, he was dating one of my people in my family, and so he comes out to our place in California. They've since broke up, by the way, and he is positive that Mustang, Oklahoma, is going to win the 6A state championship in football. This is like June or July.
Okay.
So by the way, I immediately, my radar goes up because I know for a fact they're not going to win the state championship in football. I'm going to go
out on a limb and say that he is from the western part of Oklahoma City.
We can say whatever you want. He can be from wherever you want. I'm just saying he's
okay.
not in high school. I know that.
Sure.
Grown man. So anyway, he says, "Oh, I'm positive." I said, "What would you like to place a wager on that? You want to bet?" Well, absolutely, I do. I said, "Who do I get?" And he said, "Well, I can have everybody else." But I gave them, I want to say it was 5-1 or 7-1. It was him and his brother both. But anyway, I gave him 5 or 7-1 and Mustang, which is literally like taking candy from a baby, right?
Sure.
I mean, the west side, by the way, around the country, the west side of Oklahoma City has not won the 6A state championship in my adult lifetime. It's been 30 years or whatever since a west side team in Oklahoma has won the 6A. Everybody from the east wins, Broken Arrow and Tulsa Union.
Bixby,
and all these,
Jenks.
Bixby was ranked number 1 in the entire country.
Yeah.
All right, I don't want to waste a lot of time on this, but I do need your opinion. So they bet the equivalent of $500 at I think it's maybe more, maybe 8-1. Doesn't make any difference. At 8-1 on Mustang to win. So as the playoffs approach, I'm being the nice guy that I am. Text the dude and say, "You know what? I'm DraftKings now. How about a buyout? I'll give you a buyout. You can cash out.
A cash out option?
Cash out king. Cash out option. Cash out king." So I give him a cash out option on Tessa. Hey, going into the first round, how would you like a buyout? I think I offered him, I don't know, they were going to owe $500. I think I offered him $200. No, we're good, man. We're good. We're going.
They were going to ride or die with
riding
with
it high. After the first playoff game, which they won barely, I reached back out and say, "Hey, would you like it?" No, we're riding high. Long and the short of it is, he breaks up with my relative. They break up, and Mustang, of course, gets beat in the playoffs. Like 3 days after the cash out. This guy has now ghosted me. Won't give me the money that he owes me. He owes me, I think he owes like 300 of the 500 or 200 of the 500. He's ghosted me. Well, and I've only reached out like twice. Said, "Hey, what's up, man?
What are we doing here?" Yeah,
you know what? The
clock's ticking.
Clock's ticking. Big's running. You got interest running on this thing. And I'm not doing.
It's 1 point a week, eh?
Exactly. I'm not doing any of that. All I'm saying is now here, a younger Jack.
Oh God.
I showed up at his work.
Exactly. You could have on a whim, you could have been on the boat. You could have been in California. You'd be like, "You know what? It's Tuesday. I don't have anything to do today. Let's catch a Southwest flight." Bam. Next thing you know, you're knocking on, you're at some kid's work at the movie theater or whatever. Yeah.
It's a restaurant. I know where he works. I know where he used to work. I go in. He gets some gift cards or something. The point is this dude, so I guess my question is the fact that he's 21, just getting his life together, should I have 100% grace on this kid? And frankly, he's not dating the person that I know anymore anyway.
Yeah.
Or should I stay on it? I'm not going to show up at his work. I'm a grown man. I'm just saying, what is that? I mean, what do I let it go entirely? Do I text him once every 6 months? What do you think I do with this?
98% of me would say, you know what? It's worth the price of them not dating that person anymore. That person is out of my life. You know what? So be it. The 2% part of me, and I feel it is probably a larger percentage in you, would be to just be like, maybe drop a correspondence in the mail just to be like, hey, by the way, still kind of, are we doing this? Yeah. Every 6 months or so, just kind of a gentle reminder. If you happen to, if you know somebody they know, just be like, hey, by the way, he owes me $500.
There's such a lesson here for this kid.
Absolutely, and I'm of the belief that high school sports teaches more about life for kids than anything they're going to learn in school. This is another one of those lessons.
He's not in high school either. That's the thing. This kid's 21 years old or whatever.
Still, we can always learn.
I'm not going to show up and break anybody's thumb, do anything weird. I'm not doing anything weird. There's a lesson here. You should not treat people that way. I mean, I don't treat people that way. Not to mention, I'm not going to. Let's talk about the NBA. Because I could tell you all the things I did for them when they were in California, paid for all the meals, stayed at my house, all the things that I'm trying to be a nice guy. Nothing. I mean, this guy just crickets. And it wasn't like 2 days before I offered a buy, which, by the way, I would give to my relative. I'm not going to keep the money. It has nothing to do with the money, obviously. It's just, and by the way,
principle.
Just footnote, PSA announcement, don't bet on West Side 6A teams in the state of Oklahoma to win the title until they win one in our adult lifetime.
It's like betting the Dallas Cowboys to win the Super Bowl.
Thank you. It's exactly the same.
Not coming.
Such a bad idea. Norman, Edmond, Moore, they all break up into 67 high schools. The East Side says, forget that. We don't care. We'll take 10,000 students to get the best football team. That the rules are not fair. So let's not bet on those things. All right, fatjacksports.com. Get signed. And please don't email me on this. I don't need long-term anything about this. He's a grown man, whatever. NBA, Brandon. Oklahoma City Thunder. And there's been a lot of talk around the country, especially in Oklahoma City, over the last week or so. I went on a bunch of markets, and all I want to talk about kind of the futures for the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the other teams that are relevant and how Oklahoma City is still a huge favorite. SGA came back the other night. He drops 30 in winning.
They beat Denver, who kind of looked like they turned a corner, yeah.
So I get why they're such a big favorite. But what do you think about they're plus 135. San Antonio now up to second choice. We've been beating the San Antonio drum as far as some value for the better part of, a month?
A month,
3
at
weeks
least, yeah.
And when they were 12 or 13-1. And lo and behold, now they're second choice to win it all. And we know they present some problems for the Thunder. So as we head kind of in this last, month and a half of the regular season, where do you stand now? Is it still a Western Conference or nobody? Do you like any of the Eastern Conference team? Boston 8.5-1 to win the East, followed by Cleveland, followed by the Knicks, and then
the Pistons are in the mix in the East too.
They've dropped to 17-1. They're young. They were higher. I mean, I guess my point: if you're going to bet these things, wait until one of these NBA teams, because they're all going to win and lose in a week. Nobody's going to go undefeated between here and out. You want to bet on whatever team you like after a loss. And I've always gone on record as saying I would not bet Oklahoma City at this point. It's too long to tie your money up, even at plus 135. If I'm going to bet anybody else, I'm waiting till San Antonio hopefully loses 2 in a row, or Denver loses two in a row, or Boston loses a couple straight. Then I would bet them. Which of these teams create some value? We may do this once a week or so just to kind of see the evolution of the line. I think it helps people that they're out there that are betting kind of see when they should be betting things. If you're going to bet futures, it's not, I got to get this in before the first game. This is not 1987 when you had to bet things before the season. There's odds, updated odds
every day.
Every single day, every minute of the day. Tonight, if you watch some of these games, if San Antonio at halftime,
if someone goes out and they lose by 25, that number is going to move.
It moves up or down.
10 points either way, yeah.
And
easily.
So being a little more responsible with these prop bets. I mean, I can't talk you out. Some people I just can't talk you out of not tying up your money for 3 months with the Oklahoma City Thunder for them to cash your even money bet basically in the middle of June. But hopefully what I can do is help you, now that we're into the season, decide what day of the week, what time of the week is the best time to invest that money. And I don't think it's today. You need Oklahoma City to lose at least one, probably two in a row. And they will, trust me, go. Besides shopping lines, that's the other thing. Understand it is a reactionary market in these things, and people are going to be moving these lines based on short-term micro results.
Reactions,
results versus waiting on something big picture. So, which of these teams today do you think has some value?
Boston's getting healthy, and that should be probably enough to carry the flag for the Eastern Conference. Cleveland is a tough group, and Detroit, we talked about a couple weeks ago, is still pretty young. They made the playoffs last year for the first time, I feel like, in it's maybe a decade. It had been a rough stretch for many sports in Detroit. Cleveland's interesting. The addition of James Harden makes that tandem of him and Donovan Mitchell dangerous. The problem is they both need the basketball in order to be dynamic. So having them both on the floor at the same time can present problems. For me, Boston's probably the best team, but from a value proposition, Detroit still seems as the better play to win the NBA championship than, say, Boston or even New York does at this point.
You're getting 17-1 with Detroit. I mean, that's pretty good. That's a number you could feel comfortable with tying up your money now, getting them into the playoffs, and then hedging that back a little bit to where you're not going to get hurt as long as they make the playoffs, which they're most likely going to.
Sure. I mean, they still are the number one seed in the East. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing about Cleveland is that with Harden seems happier. So he's either gone on medication or he seems like he's fitting better with this Cleveland roster, this Cleveland lineup, than a lot of the places he's been. If you just kind of watch his body language, whether he's in the game but playing or not, or sitting over with a suit on, seems to be more engaged with this particular team, this lineup, than he was certainly his last couple stops. So they're a team that I think could get hot at the right time. They've got the star power, and if it was 5 years ago with these same players, maybe. I mean, they are getting a little bit older, but they're an interesting one for me. I do like the idea if you could just, getting out of the East, if you get into the game, the problem with betting a Western Conference team is you may not have anybody once they get to the finals. Yeah. You can't hedge these things into the first round of the playoffs. It's not a one and done. So people need to understand the difference.
I mean, you could hedge with like the series pricing.
You can,
and that's kind of the same as taking a team into the NBA or the NFL playoffs. But God, that's a grind too, because if that goes 7 games, that's 2 weeks of waiting out your hedge to get money back on a futures ticket that you have.
And you're going to have to bet more because most of the time these are going to be pretty evenly matched until they get deep, unless it's a 1 versus 8. I mean, it's just a tougher deal. So I always try, if you could get a team in the series at least to win it all, with most of your bet remaining, it's just a tougher deal to bet these season prop bets in the NBA. But if you're going to, I'm still looking at. I would take San Antonio on a flyer because I just even at 7.5, but I'd wait on them to lose a game or two in a row, get them back to double digits. Out of the East, I'm still on Detroit. I was on them at 12-1. Now I'm on them at 17-1. As far as a team that can create some damage, get themselves into the NBA championship, they play Oklahoma City or San Antonio, they're going to be a big underdog.
Yep.
So that hedge is going to be tough because remember, if you're on Detroit, you now have to jump up. You've already worked off some of your the series prices leading up to that. You've worked off some of that 17-1. Now you got to lay a big number
just to maybe get even or double your initial investment.
Yeah, I would stay in college if it's me. I would go on the Miami of Ohio train, which I'm getting ready to jump on big time. I'm going to get a suite on the Miami of Ohio freight train all the way to the tournament, and we'll do it that way instead. FatJackSports.com. Listen, this is all fun and games to talk about. If you want to make money, get signed up. Soccer's been consistently good. UFC won last week. Baseball is right around the corner. Those games are still free all year long. They average 50 games of profit per year in baseball over the course of the season. Last year was not that good, but nobody paid for baseball last year. So don't pay for baseball this year, sign up now, and you're going to win whatever you win for free, which has been, again, average about 50 games over the course of the entire baseball season. And that costs you nothing when you just prepare to win this fall in football. So we'll obviously have season future win totals coming out over the course of the summer. We'll have who's going to win the Super Bowl, who's going to win the national championship of football, the draft. Sometimes we have bets on that. All those things are free when you sign up now. If you wait, you miss out on all that. So by the way, it's less than about $100 a week on average for the football season, and all those games for free during the summer when you take advantage of these preseason rates now versus waiting. How we doing?
We've also had people already asking about World Cup pricing. Obviously, the soccer package goes through, say, like the end of the Premier League season, which is end of May, early June. Are those packages going to be available shortly, or do we know pricing wise what that's going to look like?
It's already up.
Okay.
You go to soccer, go to the package page or the soccer page. You can sign up for soccer through the NBA Finals of this year. I think, pretty sure. You can definitely sign up for soccer through the World Cup. And that price is not going to go down. I think it's $8.99 right now. It might drop $100 depending on how the next 3 months go. But there will be so many games during the World Cup season. And the World Cup, by the way, it's not a week or two. This thing lasts 5 weeks?
It's over a month, yeah. Especially this year because they've expanded the tournament. It used to just be a number of teams. It is expanded grossly. So yeah, a lot more games, a lot more action.
So think about it that way. If you pay $700 and if you sign up now, you're getting all of the soccer between on them, which is this last week we had 7 plays on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday combined, along with 7 over the weekend. So you get a ton of soccer between now and the World Cup. Plus you get the 5 weeks of the World Cup. So if you're paying $800 for all that soccer, you're getting 4 months of soccer if you go through July. What is this? Mm-hmm. March, April, May, June. So 4 months plus. That is 16. It's about $40 a week for the soccer. That price is not going down because we're going to make a ton of money during the World Cup, and there's going to be a lot of plays during that 5-week period. So signing up for soccer now, the best thing you can do is get soccer through the 2027 Super Bowl. That is definitely up there. And that's going to, if you break it, just do the amount of weeks in the year divided by the price and
it's like see $30 a week.
$30 a week,
which that's 5 to 7 plays per week,
and it's a lot more than that right now. We have 14 this last week. So the point is taking it, and I say this like I'm talking about a broken record, but taking advantage of these deals now saves you so much money versus waiting until the World Cup starts because you're getting the same picks. You're just paying a lot more for them. So email us if you have questions about these, if you already have a package. And if you don't, add them now. It's going to save you a bunch of money. As I said, soccer's about $30 a week right now. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a break. We'll come right back, get you ready for the weekend. Maybe give out a promo code. If you've still stuck with the show this long, we'll give away a weekend promo code that'll save you even more on your sign up. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Fat Jack Sports Hour.
It's not the gambling she hates. It's the losing. Don't be a loser. Stick around and find out who is winning this weekend. More of the Fat Jack Sports Hour when we return.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and March is finally here. Are you ready to spring into some profit? Go to FatJackSports.com. It's not just the madness of hoops that are coming over the next few weeks. It's not just soccer. It's not just UFC. It's not the free bases. It's all of it combined long-term for less than $100 a week. FatJackSports.com to consistently win money this spring, to make your year a winning one for less than $100 a week. Go to FatJackSports.com, sign up today, and win this weekend if you're betting the games against the spread.
Welcome back to the Fat Jack Sports Hour, and for the final time this week, here is our host. He is not a free agent. He is the Fat Jack.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Fat Jack Sports Hour, segment number 3. Getting you ready for the weekend, springing forward. There should be a pep in your step right now, guys. Go out, dust your golf clubs off, get ready, because spring is coming. It's been early for a lot of places in the country.
That groundhog was right, though.
Was he? I didn't know what he saw or he didn't.
6 more weeks of winter, and sure enough, I went out Monday. So Saturday in Louisville, it was almost 75. Monday, I had ice on my car.
That groundhog's
he really is.
Absolute. I mean, come on. He's wrong so much. I mean, he makes some of the people in my business look like they know what they're doing. So.
Sure.
All right, fatjacksports.com. Let's quickly, Brandon, let's give out a promo code. If you're out there, you've been holding on. Go enter this weekend only, soccer, as your promo code. You'll save 10% on any soccer package. So get signed up through the week, through March, through the NBA Finals, through the World Cup, whatever. 10% off. That makes us go through next year's Super Bowl. It gets it down to about $1,500, which is about $25 a week. By entering soccer as your promo code. So enter coupon code soccer, then press enter or apply. It'll automatically take off the money and then press go and you're in. So
that's like 5 units of profit right there.
It's the best value. I mean, gosh, it's just, and I say this over and over, but it's the best value I may have ever offered. I mean, it just makes so much money. It's such a long sport. It goes all year long. It's not like you're having to wait on 8 weeks or 10 weeks or 12 weeks or whatever. It's almost a year-long deal, especially with the World Cup. So a great time to try it. And as I've talked before, you don't have to watch it. You don't have to care about it. Just enjoy watching your balance go up. Before we run out of time, Brandon, and fatjacksports.com for that, I want to talk about Kalshi a little bit. Kalshi and these prediction markets. First of all, do you understand what they are? Can you articulate?
It's basically sports betting that isn't quote unquote, and I'm using air quotes here, sports betting. But instead of betting against a house, you're betting against the market. So really it's you versus, in theory, 200,000 other people kind of coming together on one side. And they don't, the site themselves, Kalshi and Polymarket and all these other prediction markets that even sports books are throwing out, I don't think they care if they get an equal amount on either side because they're not necessarily the ones fronting the money for it.
So if it says, but the number applies, so you get the number you get when you place the bet. Mm-hmm. It's not like stocks, right? I mean, or I guess it is, you buy in at a certain amount. I'm just trying to figure out how to articulate this to people because Kalshi and the thing is, Brandon, when you go on the sites, it's just like betting on sports. Mm-hmm. I mean, you have an odds, you pick a side, that's your number. I mean, it tells you what you're going to make. The odds are not as good as 10% a lot of times, but sometimes they are as good, if not better. They'll take a lot of money in the bets because of exactly what you're saying. They're not booking. So you rarely get limited by them because they don't care.
That's been the one difference that I've seen thus far in my own dealings and people that I know that are on the platform is that they haven't had that issue yet.
Mainly it's probably because they're not backing it.
Yep.
You're just taking somebody else's money. They're taking their cut in the middle. So very interesting deal. In these states that don't have legalized sports gambling, they better get on board because some of the things that are like DraftKings stealing money from me in Puerto Rico and things going on like that, and Caesars, taking away my status and not telling me why. Kalshi, no, they don't have sign-up bonuses and that kind of stuff that people love, but they don't care about any of that.
Yep.
I would still have, if they had a Diamond Plus status, I'd still have it with them. So anyway, I'm going to figure out a way to articulate that a little bit better for sure, because it's certainly not my world. I do have an account, but it's small. Like $500, and I've run it up to a couple $1,000. There's not a lot going on there, but I just wanted to see what it was like to kind of get in the groove. But during the off season, I'm going to figure that out because if some of these states, and I'm talking to you, California, Texas, Oklahoma, Georgia, those type states, if you guys don't get with the program, these people are going to come in, take your market share. So when you do legalize sports gambling, you are going to be behind the 8 ball. You are not going to get as much market share. You're not going to make as much. And the old he who hesitates, blah, 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 that is going to be you. There will be no dates for the weary if you don't get your game together, because there are other factions coming in that are allowing people to bet on sports because they want to bet on sports, and you're often betting on everything and anything else. So just my platform for the week, my soapbox for the week, is these proposition markets are a danger to some of these states that are dragging their heels on legalized sports gambling.
I think that ship has already sailed. Those like I said, Kalshi's available anywhere in the country. If you are in a state where sports betting isn't legal, you essentially have it.
You have it, and then you sign up at fatjacksports.com, and you don't really give a rip whether the tribes and the states get together or not.
Yep, the only thing that can screw it up at this point is if the FTC comes in and says, "All right, we're shutting all these down," which would be interesting, but entirely plausible. So
becoming less and less likely the more money they make, because the more money they make, the more power they get in Washington.
The harder it becomes for them to be
shut down or regulated in any way. So it becomes a very, very dangerous spot for some of these states that can't get their mess together with the tribes. So any final thoughts, Brandon, before we get out of here?
NFL free agency opens next week, so you're going to see a bunch of movement in numbers for, say, preseason odds for next year's Super Bowl. There's going to be 5 starting quarterbacks who were started games last year that are going to get cut. When you look at Tua, Kyler, Geno Smith, Kirk Cousins, probably all going to be on different teams. A lot of movement and shaking up of the of those numbers is going to come between this week and next week, and then that's going to change again after the NFL draft, and then it will change again after the schedule comes out. So if you're in that market and you're looking at futures bets for the 2027 Super Bowl, there's movement coming.
And sign up at fatjacksports.com because we do all that work for you.
Yep.
There's so many moving parts. Brandon's exactly right. While you guys are out dusting your golf clubs off and getting ready for your pool and fake tanning, this is what I'm doing. We're figuring out what these moves mean to these different numbers, where we take advantage of them before the general public does. Those are benefits in the offseason that will pay dividends once we get to the fall. Guys, don't drink and drive. Wager responsibly. Have a great, great weekend. Good luck to everybody. We're springing forward on Sunday night. And happy birthday to Mrs. Fat Jack, Karen Ross, who turns 55 years old on Monday. So, guys, have a great week. I will talk to you soon. For Brandon and the Fat Jack, this has been the Fat Jack Sports Hour.
You've been listening to the Fat Jack Sports Hour. The easiest way to win this season is to go to fatjacksports.com, find the package that's right for you, and get ready to win with the Fat Jack.
This is the Fat Jack, and March is finally here. Are you ready to spring into some profit? Go to fatjacksports.com. It's not just the madness of hoops that are coming over the next few weeks. It's not just soccer. It's not just UFC. It's not the free bases. It's all of it combined long-term for less than $100 a week. Fatjacksports.com to consistently win money this spring, to make your year a winning one for less than $100 a week. Go to fatjacksports.com, sign up today, and win this weekend if you're betting the games against the spread.